Okay, Paul, for this demonstration here I just got a piece of goldfish baked, those kind of cracker goody thingies. I'm just going to use the inside of it. Instead of using, I don't have any pieces of actual fish hook, they're all kind of binded up right now, so I'm just going to show you this for the demonstration, which is the easiest part. The first thing that Uncle Hank told me was the simple tie, which is the first knot in that manual. Basically you do that, and this isn't it, but this is just a knot that I use just to kind of, for the purpose of the demonstration. Just tie that whipping at the start here and close to the hook. As you see, it's a slightly different shape hook to what we usually make to do the lashing. You sent the pictures of to me. This one is just more of a simple shape. So what you do is you'll tie the lashing, then you'll untie it. When it's tied the first time, mark it with a pencil, and then you'll come back and you'll actually cut out the notches as you see in the manual, and then that means it'll stop it all from unslipping and unraveling when you have it all fully tied. So tie your whipping there, which again, as I said, is the first knot, and tie it on the part just above the hook here, which is for the main necklace itself. The next part is you're going to turn the hook to the back side, alright, and I'm just going to use this little piece of beige cord here just to show you how to start it off. So, again, from the words of Uncle Hank, you always start off on each of these knots with a loop like this, okay? So just make a little loop, sorry, a little bit high there. Make a little loop like this on the top of the cord where you plan to start. Okay, so you're just going to make that simple loop in the cord and get your piece, okay? And then what I want you to do is just face it towards the back end on the back side of the cord there, just something like that. Okay, nice and simple, alright? What you can do from there, and it doesn't really matter if you do it on the front or the back side. I normally tend to turn it round from there. I just hold that loop in place. How he started them and how he showed me was, as you see the little loose tail end here, which is what you're going to be pulling through at the end so that you can tighten it all together. Basically, with this little whipping tied at the top of the loop here, you're just going to start and you're going to wrap this longer end, which you're going to be tying the rest of the figure 8 with. You're going to be lashing that around the top end here near the loop. Do it about 3 times back towards the cord, or back towards the actual part of the hook, leaving this loose little tail end out the far side. So once, we'll wrap it twice, and then we'll wrap it about 3 times. Again, 3 is not necessarily the major number. You can do it maybe 5 times, maybe 4. I'm just going to do it one more time. As you see there, it's kind of, again, I have the loop at the back. Okay, as you see there, hope that's pretty clear for you. And then I have the tail end running through that bit, and I wrap the rope around it 4 times there. Alright, so that 4 times is basically what's kind of starting off our figure 8. Basically, from there, all you're doing is just bringing it down, just like on your lashing that you sent me the pictures, bringing it down, and we're going to wrap around. Okay, so you're going to start from the front, bring it around the back, back around the front, and then in behind the back again. So we're just doing that regular figure of 8 pattern. Then you're just bringing it down by the side, around the back, around the front, and up by the back again. Okay, so basically you're just doing the regular figure of 8 from here on out, and you're just going to keep that pattern obviously going until you have your desired amount of area covered using that pattern. So again, just around the front and back around the back and over the top again. So I hope that's, I know there's a few shadows being created here in this light, but I hope you're getting the idea. So basically it's just starting off with 3 or 4 wraps with the longer end, and then we just start the figure of 8 pattern. When you've done the figure of 8 pattern, basically from around the back, it's going to be, once you finish up around the back of the loop of the actual hook itself, you're just going to put the end into that loop that you first started off with. And then what you're going to do is just pull the pull-through cord, and that'll basically, and it works the same with the simple tie as well. You're just going to pull that back through the actual lashing so that it holds it tight. And that's kind of what you're going to be left with. Obviously it doesn't look too tidy here, it's hard to do it on a kind of a thin piece of paper. But that's the general gist of how you start that snood lashing. Alright, so again, once you have that, again, we have the figure of 8 pattern down pretty good, as you obviously showed me. You know how to do that part. But the way he just starts that off is just with the 3 wraps around the top near the whipping that you've actually done on the necklace itself. Alright, so again, I'll just run through it quickly one more time. and then I'll move on to the Heitoki lashing, which is going to help you out in doing that one. Okay, just unwrapping it here. Alright, so once again, start off with our simple loop, okay, at the end of the cord, just like we have, just like he likes you. He basically told me all the lashings should start off like this. The simple one is the same. It's going to start off like this with you wrapping it back around itself. So once we get the back of the hook, always face the hook, always face that loop that you're starting with on this one away from the actual hook itself, the actual point of the hook. So you're facing it backwards like that. From there, I think he just wrapped it on the same side, but I tend to turn it around myself. Just keep that loose end out to the, basically facing towards the point. And all you're going to do is, where you have the whipping up of the hook here, you're just going to start to wrap it there. And wrap it first just around, and then the other one kind of comes back over that one again just to hold it tight. Okay, and then you just continue to wrap it. You know, as I said, 3 or 4 times. You don't have to wrap it too tight either, but decently tight just to hold it in place. And then you see we're starting off here. You have the 4 little loops at that end there. Once you have those, you're going to just bring it back down over the front. Sorry, I keep going high. I'm trying to use a little tripod here, and it's a little bit awkward. So from there, you're going to just down over the front, around the back side, around the front again, and then you're going to bring it over the back and over the top. And basically that's where we're starting our figure of 8 loop from there. Around the back again, nice and easy, and then over the top again, just making sure everything stays nice and tidy. And basically we're continuing that whole figure of 8 pattern as much as desired. You see it comes out pretty good. One side is pretty much vertical, the other goes back pretty much at 90 degrees. When we're ready to stop the whole thing, then we're just going to put the loose end back through that little loop at the back, and we're going to, that little tie here, we're just going to pull that and pull it in under the actual lashing itself. Not the whole way through, just pull it through the lashing a little bit. And if you're using the wax cord, basically you can cut it there, cut it here, and then melt it off. But just remember, don't pull that, don't pull the whole thing through. You just want to pull it maybe halfway under, and it seems to hold pretty tight from there. Okay, so that's pretty much the snood lashing. I think hopefully I've made it pretty clear for you. But if you don't get it, just obviously send me an email, and I'll try and clear things up for you. Okay, let's